We're out here at the Root Quencher headquarters. Brian from Earth Grower. We're talking about pruning today. Really what we're aiming for when we're doing pruning is to get air and light into the tree. When we get air and light into the tree, we eliminate pest issues, and also we're balancing the distribution of hormones through the tree. So we're going to be focusing on clearing out some of the inside to get more air and light in here, but also to balance the distribution of hormones so that we can maximize fruit production from this tree over time. And as we do that, that'll actually start to eliminate some of these deficiencies that we're seeing over time. One of the things that we're looking at is we don't want branches that are coming from down low growing up tall as the ones that are coming from up high. Anything dead is also a good place to start, right? I'm going through and I'm covering the things that I know for sure need to come out that I really don't need to think about that much. Kumquats tend to grow a little more bush-like than other citrus trees. So the approach I'm taking with this is a little different than I would with a lemon tree or an orange. I'm starting by lifting the tree up from the ground. These branches that are coming from the ground growing up into the canopy of the tree is just a little highway for insects to bring diseases up and to cause issues with this tree. And now what I'm starting to look at are these individual scaffolds coming off of the tree. You know, we're really trying to feel where there are blockages in the flow of energy in this tree to allow it to distribute its energy to make fruit rather than just growing a bunch of green branches. I'm not taking out all of these, but where there's 10, 12 of these branches coming off of one larger diameter branch, I want to bring that down to 2 or 3. That's a common mistake that people make when they're first starting out pruning, is they'll leave a lot of these little nubs. And those little nubs, what they'll do over time, especially bigger ones, they'll crack and they become an access point for bugs and disease to get into the tree. In the long run, what will happen, because you're distributing the hormones correctly and you're distributing the air and light, you're creating an opportunity for new growth and for rebirth, and for this tree to allow new vegetative growth that will make new fruit spurs. In nature, what happens is there will be so much fruit that the branches start to break and they naturally prune themselves. The ones that continue to produce fruit over time are those lateral 45-degree branches. In a cultivated setting, like in our backyard or in an orchard, is we're doing the things for the trees that they can't do for themselves so that we can get a harvest from them. Each of the little fruit spurs need to have enough air and light going over them. Air going over the flowers is going to allow for pollination. Light is going to eliminate the potential for molds and different diseases to take hold. So we want to allow enough air and light to get in here that we can get all of those benefits. But we want it to be somewhat feathered so that there's not so much light coming in that now we're burning the bark of the tree. Really, this is very contextual. Every tree we're going to have to take a little bit different approach with. We're going to have to take a little bit different lens at how we look at it. What type of environment is it in? What type of tree is it? And what is it that I'm really trying to achieve in pruning this tree? Pruning gives us the opportunity to be able to reset that energy of the tree, to be able to distribute it in a way that has clear pathways for fruit production, which more often than not is what we're aiming for with having a fruit tree in the first place.